What's up, Vantage Academy family? It is AJ Hazzi here, and today we are going to discuss the plan for us real estate agents operating in this global pandemic. Now, I know you've probably heard and watched plenty of videos on this, but I wanted to give you our strategy on how we're coping with this COVID-19 situation and how we're still managing to sell a house at least every other day. This COVID-19 situation has thrown a serious wrench in the gears for the entire economy, and essential service or not, a realtor's life just got a whole lot more challenging. We can complain about it, or we can adapt, and quickly I might add. I'm going to walk you through a number of the protocols that we've implemented since social distancing and quarantining have become the norm. This is how we balance safety and health concerns with a real need to continue doing commerce. Number one, you need to be on Zoom meetings. I'm sure you're very familiar with this, but let's start talking about how to do these well. First, you need to set up your space professionally. What people see on the other side of the camera needs to communicate authority. There are a number of things that can subtly communicate that authority, and you have to show that you're the professional and you're the one leading the process. Cliche as it might sound, sitting in front of an office credenza with books or awards in the background, communicating that you're an accomplished, well-read professional helps. Degrees or certificates hanging on the wall are important subtleties that ensure that your clients recognize that they are sitting with an authority on the subject. I imagine if you were having a conversation with a lawyer or an accountant, it would be comforting for you to see them in an office setting with evidence of their professional accomplishments. Just as important as your surroundings is your personal appearance. It's easy to let this slide, especially as we spend most of our days wearing sweatpants and skipping our morning hair routine while we're on lockdown. Just remember that a Zoom meeting is the same as a face-to-face meeting in terms of how important it is to the client relationship. So show up to the Zoom meeting the same way you would show up to a proper client meeting, and you can't go wrong. This means that if you would normally wear a sports coat, it probably wouldn't hurt to wear a sports coat to the Zoom appointment. Obviously, things like doing your hair and shaving your face are a given, if that's what you would normally do. Now, there's no rule, of course, about wearing pants. Considering the camera is only from the waist up, you can feel free to enjoy the freedom of being business on the top while your pants off party on the bottom. The next piece we implemented right away was the virtual showing. There are two ways to do a virtual showing. One is a narrated walkthrough, which we will discuss now, and the other is the Matterport 3D tour that we'll discuss a little later. When doing a narrated walkthrough, it's important that you have one of the newer smartphones, preferably the new iPhone or the new Samsung that has the extra wide setting. This is going to allow you to capture much more in the frame and avoids you having to move the phone and camera around, because that can be a real turnoff for viewers. If you can afford it, use a gimbal. One can be bought at Best Buy or off of Amazon for about $100. The DJI Osmo is the one that I use, and it works great. When doing these walkthroughs, remember to go slow and steady. There's nothing worse than speeding through a place and the camera moving rapidly from side to side. Now, you'll be narrating this video, so it's important that you have all the features that the seller would have shared with you during the first walkthrough. This way that you can make sure that you're pointing out all of the relevant features and benefits as you move through the house. It's important that you don't go into realtor speak here, and don't speak like you're dictating a newspaper ad. This is meant to sound the way you would when you're showing a home to one of your own buyers. So let's avoid the cringeworthy stereotypical realtor presentation voice where we point out painfully obvious things like, this is the kitchen. There's just no need. When you're editing these later, you can always cut out things that you wish you hadn't said. And remember, putting a bit of music as a backtrack allows you to have longer pauses between speaking. The next protocol we put in place is a widely used app, and that's Bom Bom. It's important that your clients see your face. Real estate is a high-touch business after all. Bom Bom allows you to create personalized messages and embed them into an email or a text. And one thing I love about this method of communication is that it allows you to be very leveraged. You can record one message and then send it out to groups of your clients. Something like, hey, I just wanted you to know that I'm thinking of you during this crisis. I hope everyone's okay. If you need anything, I am here. Please know we are still helping people buy and sell homes. And then here's how we're doing it safely. Go through all the protocols that you put in place to keep folks safe. Implementing Bom Bom will be something that sticks around well after this COVID crisis is over. The next protocol we put in place was a digital signing platform like DocuSign or Authentisign. Now, these are widely adopted in our industry. That said, it wouldn't hurt to create a really short tutorial on how clients can download it if they haven't done this yet, and how to set up their account, just to offer people who are maybe not as tech savvy some comfort getting set up. Now I'm going to share with you one of the things that I believe is a very, very important piece to this puzzle, and that's doing a video offer presentation. This is one of the core, if not the core competency that we're paid for as a buyer's agent, and that's negotiating on our client's behalf. Now, one of the things that really makes me ashamed of our industry is how even pre-COVID-19, the art of negotiation seems to be lost on realtors today. We're relying on text messages and DocuSign instead of getting belly to belly and negotiating the way things were once done. Here are 8 things to include in a video offer presentation. Number 1, Compliment the other agent at the outset. Let the sellers know that their agent has done a wonderful job in bringing you to this point. This is going to go a long way with keeping things collaborative. Number 2, now you want to make the seller like and connect with you as a person. Take some time to get in rapport with them. It's important in the overall negotiation that they don't see you as their adversary, but rather someone who is working collaboratively to make this deal happen. Number 3, create a connection to your clients emotionally. One of the easiest way to do this is to get the sellers to see the buyers as them 10 years ago when they bought the property. Explain your client's family dynamic a little bit. Make them endearing, even if they're not. Experience shows that sellers really want to like the people who are purchasing their home, and they're willing to make concessions for people they feel warmly towards. Number 4, present the terms of your offer, including dates, inclusions, and subjects in advance of the price. If you present the price first, they're going to spend the rest of your presentation doing the math, making calculations instead of listening to the terms of the offer. So hopefully you've done the work in advance by discussing with the other agent the terms and the dates that might be the most attractive to the seller, and that you can present those in a positive light, ideally in exchange for a price that's favorable for your buyer. Number 5, now it's time to present the price, and when you do, you have to do it confidently. And take a little pause. A little silence for dramatic effect communicates confidence. Make sure that you use the words fair and reasonable in the sentence. Number 6, now it's time to substantiate your price and explain the methodology you use to come up with the offer. Offers that seem carefully considered can be rationalized and are far more palatable than the ones that appear to be pulled from air. And here's a little tip. Don't use round numbers. Slightly more obscure numbers will seem more carefully considered. And please, do not make the mistake of offering something with a 9 at the end. So many realtors make an offer of $389,000 or $429,000 because their client, who is clearly leading the process, thinks this is a great place to start. All this serves to do is to make a low offer look even lower. Number 7, the last piece of the puzzle is to install what we call fear of loss. Explain that your clients are really excited to make a deal and have narrowed things down to their favorite 2 properties, and they've instructed you to offer on theirs first. Reiterate that you've asked your clients to put their best foot forward and that they are very serious about buying a house, and you really hope it's this one. If you're interested in seeing an example of what one of these offers communicated by video looks like, I've actually got a link below to one of our agents who recently and successfully represented a buyer with this very strategy using a Bom Bom. Next is Matterport Tours. Offering 3-dimensional virtual tours is a great value add for sellers and a wonderful way for buyers to get comfortable cruising around the home at their own speed. This is a really nice 1-2 punch with the narrated video walkthrough, and when combined can give buyers enough comfort to make an offer sight unseen or at least subject to viewing. Take the same feature list that you use to inform your video walkthrough and then use the annotation feature in the Matterport backend to point out all of the features in each room as the buyers cruise through. Zillow also offers a wonderful 3D tour feature, although in my opinion it's not quite as advanced as Matterport, but it will definitely be less costly for the agent. And lastly, no doubt you will have some extra time at your home office. Well, this is going to be the perfect opportunity for you to do a couple of things. Firstly, upgrade your credentials. If you've been looking to become a certified negotiation expert, now's the time. Maybe you've considered getting your luxury property marketing designation. Good for you, do it now. Perhaps you're interested in taking a course on how I scaled my business from 50K up to 5 million in commission. More on that another time. I'm spending my quarantine time shooting all these video modules for a course that I've wanted to do for years now, and I finally have the time to do it. Secondly, and to my last point, this is your chance to produce valuable content to the marketplace. Nothing communicates authority more or cements you as the go-to person in a crisis better than cranking out concise, valuable content when people need it the most. Some ideas for content: how you can safely shop for a home during this pandemic, how to safely sell your home, how tenants and landlords can navigate this together, walking through a real estate deal from start to finish using social distancing. How does this affect Airbnb? How does this affect commercial real estate? What's going on with iBuyers right now? I could go on, but the point is this: the time to create videos, blog posts, podcasts is now. Whatever medium you're most comfortable with, now is the time, given that you have a little bit extra of that. Go on the offensive and let's create some valuable content that's going to elevate you in the eyes of your community and your consumer. There you have it, folks. Those are 10 things you can implement right away during this crisis. I hope you found this super helpful. If so, and you like more content like this, give us a thumbs up and a subscribe. Also, if you're wanting to connect on Facebook, check out the Vantage West Academy on the book. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, stay safe and sell lots.